Well, we've got the live broadcast on Hoggs Vlog again, and thanks very much for joining me. We've got Rafan there, Train and Travel. Thanks for joining me. Arav Janai, Savish, Yadav, how you going? Cricket Gaming. Oh, all good. Thanks very much for joining me. Good morning to everyone over in India. Good morning here in Australia as well. We're still in the morning part of the time here. But tomorrow we've got the T20 International between England and India. And it's at Ahmedabad. 5 games there. 5 games in a row out Ahmedabad. So it's going to be tough. But England at the moment are the number 1 T20 team in the world. Are India good enough to knock them off? That's what we're talking about on Hoggs Vlog. Well, I had a little bit of a stuff up there, didn't I? I forgot to say roll bumper. But anyway, we just have a little bit of a time lapse there. But let's get into our first point. India face biggest test pre-T20 World Cup, and that's playing against England. Now, England, what have they got? They have got a powerhouse batting lineup, and it's going to be a little bit different to the test team. These guys are going to attack the spinners from ball 1, and they're going to play a lot of reverse sweeps, a lot of attacking reverse sweeps. So they're going to put pressure on the likes of Sundar and Chahal. The reason being, those two particular players don't have as tall a height as Ashwin and Axar Patel. So will India go in with those two particular bowlers, or will they go in with 3 spinners? I'd go in with Axar Patel because he's got the height. The English batsmen previously weren't prepared to sweep him. They were a little bit unsure with that extra bounce. So Patel's got to play. Will they go with 3 spinners and have Hardik Pandya as the 3rd seamer? That will be the big question there. And you've got Malan in the batting lineup. I love the way he plays spin. He goes reverse sweep as well as conventional sweep. So this is the predicted 11. Jason Roy, Josh Butley out the top. They will struggle against Chahal, but it's the middle order that are going to be dominant. Malan, Bairstow, Stokes are very good against leg spin bowling, as well as Moeen Ali down there just behind Morgan there. So that's where England have their strength in the batting to counteract the spin of England. I think they'll go in with Wood, Rashid, Jordan and Sam Curran as well. But that bowling lineup, you've got Jordan there, who's very good in the death arena. But the weakness in this England bowling lineup is their power play bowling. So Rahul and Rohit Sharma have to attack in the power play and put the pressure on the English bowlers in that middle order, and hopefully they can come home strong and put on a big total. India, going into this game, are going to be missing Bumrah and Jadeja. Jadeja provides quality, good all-round support in that middle order. So my lineup for India is Sharma and Rahul. Well, we've already been told by Kohli that Rahul's going to open the batting and not Darwin. I would have gone with Darwin with that left-hand option. But Kohli, Yadav, Surya Kumar Yadav, I've got to play him in there because he's an aggressive batsman, plays 360 degrees, hard to bowl to. Pant, Pandya, Sundar, and we've got Axar or Shadel there, Shadel Thakur there. I'd go with Axar Patel with 3 spinners. And then I'd go with Chahar, swing bowling, Bhuvneshwar comes back in, and Chahal. I think that's a very balanced lineup. Now, we'll just move on to the next point here with that team that I've just picked. We're going to talk about the Ahmedabad wicket. Is it going to turn as much as the Test wicket? I don't know. I think the curator will provide a flatter track. But if we look at the Sahid 2020 tournament just before on this particular wicket, spin bowled the majority of the overs. But spin was dominant in the first innings, but because of the dew factor in the second innings, spin didn't play as big a part. So for me, India should go in with 3 spinners with Bhuvnesh Kumar and Chahal as their main seam options, but you've got Hardik Pandya there with the seam options as well. You've still got batting depth, but what you're doing is you're providing yourself with more bowling options up front in the first innings if you bowl first with spin options to put pressure on the English batsman. And if there's dew in the evening session, you've got Hardik Pandya to come in and cover that void. So for me, India have got to attack the English with spin in the first innings of this series, of this match. If it's the second innings, well, you've got Hardik Pandya. Okay, let's go into the next point. English depth of spin. Now, this is where England are really going to be found out in this T20 tournament. They've got Moeen Ali and Rashid as their frontline spinners. Moeen's just been used in the power play. Very rarely has he been bowled in the middle overs of late for England. So for me, I think they're one short with their spinners. I think they should take a risk and bring in Parkinson. He's on standby at the moment. He's with the touring squad. I think they should try and get 3 spinners in here. And the other reason why I'd go there is Parkinson's slightly different to Rashid. He's slightly a quicker type of bowler, but you're providing yourself with an opportunity to see another option of spin for the T20 World Cup. Yes, it would be great to knock India off over here in this T20 tournament, but that's not the big picture. The big picture is preparing for the T20 World Cup later on in the year. Now, there's one final point that I want to bring up, and this is Chakravarti Tawatia with their fitness. Now, the standards of fitness for India have been there for a couple of years now. All players around India know what to expect. The goalposts haven't changed. You've got to take your opportunity when it comes. And when it comes, you can't be left out like this. So these 2 particular players, because they haven't shown up with the fitness standards of India, it shows that they don't have the dedication of what it takes to play international cricket. This could be their last opportunity. So youngsters out there, no matter what you're doing in your life, make sure if you're going for an opportunity, whether it's work, cricket, or any other sport, you know what the standards are. You know what's expected of you when you show up for that first day of work. And these 2 particular players haven't shown up for the first day of work in prime condition, and this could be their last opportunity. Now, before we get into the questions, I think India are going to win this series 4-1 because they've got better bowling depth with their spinners. Okay, England are ranked number 1, India number 2 prospectively, so this is going to be a big series and a big game to get it off to a good start. Okay, let's get into the questions. First question, please. Have we got the questions up? Oh, there we go. Chandrasaka Bhaskara. How are you, Chandrasaka? Hey, Hoggy. Why do you want to play 3 spinners? Dew will definitely play a role. The reason being is if you look at this particular wicket with the small sample size that we've got with the local or the Indian T20 tournament, the seed T20 tournament, spin has dominated in the first innings, but it hasn't dominated in the second innings. So the reason why I play 3 spinners is you've got Hardik Pandya as your all-rounder who bowls quality medium pace, and he can fill that void if India bowls second. I just think you need 3. If you can have 3 spinners in the first innings and get away with Hardik Pandya bowling medium pace in the second innings, I think you should try that option because remember we're preparing for a World Cup. Spin is going to dominate in this particular T20 World Cup. So for me, I'd get your 3 spinning options in there, and plus all those 3 or the 2 of those spinners can handle the bat, Sundar and Axar Patel. So you've got that batting depth as well. So for me, you've got 3 medium paces and 3 spinners as your various options. I know what you mean with the Dew. I'd be a little bit tentative with it, but because these 3 spinners play IPL cricket and they are used to these conditions, it'll be a little bit different at international level. Next question, please. That is a very good question. Ararav Janai. Virat Kohli said that India will attack from the start. Do you think this is a good idea? Well, for me, I think it is a good idea. If you're looking at T20 cricket all around the world now, batting teams are going after the bowling and trying to post as big a score as they possibly can. They're playing without fear. I think if you look at this lineup, Rohit Sharma, Rahul are very dominant in the power plays, but Rahul sometimes just slows his run rate in those middle overs. So I think that the role here for Rahul and Virat Kohli, one of those will be trying to bat through the innings just to have that little bit of foundation, that little bit of protection if you lose wickets in the lower order. So they'll play conservatively, but then the likes of Surya Kumar, Pant and Hardik Pandya, they'll be coming in at least the 10th over and just playing that aggressive style of cricket, keeping the run rate up that's been set up in the power play and trying to post a total of about 170 on this spinning or on this slower wicket here at Ahmedabad, and that'll be too much for England. So you've got to play aggressive cricket. I think it's a very good balanced team with Kohli batting with the aggressive batters out the very end. I think this Indian team, without Iyer in it and Surya Kumar Yadav in there, are going to be more potent just because of that variety with the bat. Very good question, Aravind. Tanmoy Chakrabarti, how are you? Burdwan Medical College. I hope you're going to become a doctor soon, because I'll need some help down the track. I'm getting to that age where I do need a good doctor. Varun CV missing out because of failing fitness test. Should the rules be compromised for that individual's talent, or criteria should be the same for all? No, I don't, Tanmoy. We put rules in there for fitness to show dedication, to show that they are willing to stand up and deliver on the standards that are expected of them of international cricket. If you don't have those standards in play, then when it comes to the fielding side of things, you're going to let down your teammates. So for me, fitness standards are very important. They're not the main thing, but these are basic fitness standards. And they should be, how can I put it? They're basic fitness standards that you should be playing in first class cricket and IPL cricket. You are at the top of your craft. You're playing at the highest level. You've got to put yourself in peak condition, and you've got to cover all bases: your skill, your fitness, so that you don't get injured. If he gets injured out in the middle because he's unfit, then all of a sudden there's overs that Virat Kohli's got to find someone else to bowl. So for me, I'm liking where India are with their fitness standards. And if you've looked out their position on international cricket at the moment, since they've had these fitness standards, they're up the top in Test cricket. They're up the top. They've been up in the top 4 in one day and T20 crickets consistently. It's improved their cricket both on the field, but it's also improved their fielding standards as well. So these standards are helping Indian cricket. You can't allow someone to get away with not fitting into these standards. The rules have been set, and that's your expectation. Good question, but I don't feel for Chakrabarti. Omk UH. How about Ishan Kishan out number 4? Okay, if they're going to play Hardik Pandya a little lower and get him to bowl 4 overs, I'd have Ishan Kishan in the team in front of Iyer. Then you've got 4 really aggressive batsmen to finish off the innings. But the thing is, I'd play him as a floater as well. If Rahul and Rohit get off to a great start and they bat to about the 8th over, I wouldn't be surprised, or I wouldn't mind seeing the lower order batsmen come in front of Kohli and really apply the pressure on the England batsmen, and have Kohli just drop down the list a bit, because he doesn't really have as much of a strike rate as these other batsmen. So around about the 8th over, I think Kohli should sacrifice himself to bat a little later and just let the youngsters come in with a higher strike rate to really dominate this inning. So Ishan Kishan, if Hardik Pandya is going to bowl 4 overs, and they're going to go in with 4 frontline bowlers, Ishan Kishan in front of Iyer for me. And that gives you another left-handed batting option down the bottom. Hi, sir. I'm from India and love your vlogs. Please say my name. Mafia Gaming. How are you, mate? You all right? I hope you're having a good day. And thanks very much for following me on YouTube. Okay, the next one, please. Next question up. Vinay P. Do you think Saini will play because of his raw pace? I'd really love him to get that opportunity. I think if they go in with 2 spinners and have Hardik Pandya bat out 6 and have 5 frontline bowlers, I think Saini should play in front of Thakur, because then you've got a little bit of difference in your attack. If Thakur plays Chahal and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, you've got 3 bowlers of similar pace and similar skill set. So for me, I think if they're only going to play 2 spinners and 5 frontline bowlers, Saini to come in with his raw pace. That's a very good observation there, Vinay. And yeah, don't be surprised if Saini, there's going to be a few rotations throughout these T20 series just to see what all the players have got, especially in the bowling lineup, because you need to make sure you've got good backup with your bowling lineup going into a T20 World Cup. Pranav Jaya, how are you, mate? How you going, mate? I'm going well. I love it how you put the mate on there. Very good Aussie twist to it. Do you see this Indian team dominating the T20 series against England and favourites for the T20 World Cup? These 2 particular teams are favourites for the T20 World Cup. What did I say, players? T20 World Cup. The reason being, England have really concentrated on their white ball cricket over the years, and they've selected bowlers and batters specifically for roles in the white ball game. Also, where I really see this T20 team of England challenging India, is with the batters that they've chosen. They've chosen batters that can play against spin, and they've got the options of the sweep shot and reverse sweep shot, and that's very hard to bowl to. So for me, this is going to be a test of the 2 best teams in the world at T20 World Cup. Whoever comes out on top on this series will be the favourites for the T20 World Cup, and I think India are favourites for the T20 World Cup going forward, especially when you get Bumrah and Jadeja back in this 11. So yeah, no, that's a good question. Mayank VX, is India bowling attack enough to dominate English batting side? I think they are, but I think they've got to get it right. I think Axar Patel's definitely got to play, because they find it harder for him to sweep, or harder to sweep him than the other bowlers. But we've also got to have a look at Chahal and Sundar as well, how they go against the sweeping batsmen of England, and what armoury they've got to challenge England batsmen going to the sweep shot rather than using their feet. So for me, I think the Indian attack have got the nous and have got the smarts to dominate this English batting lineup. And you've also got the swing bowling up front of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Chahar. But you've also got quality death bowling. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, quality death bowler in IPL. He's coming back from injury, so this is going to be a good test for him to see where he's at on the international stage right now. So for me, I think India have got the smarts to beat the English batting lineup. Next question, please, Shubs. Yep. Rajit Kumar. How you going, mate? If India won the toss and choose to bat, then what should be a challenging score for England? If they chose to bat and Dew playing a part later on in the evening, and the English spinners aren't quite as dominant as the Indian spinners, I'd be hoping that they'd score around about 180 on what is going to be predicted as a turning track here at Ahmedabad. So about 180 will be a good score in the first T20. And then as you move along, if you play on the same wicket, that score is slightly going to come down with each game because the pitch is going to roughen up. But that's a very good question. 180 should be a total tonight. Thanks for that, Rajit. Swap 123. That's not a bad little name. What you think Indian bowling weak link in this series? For me, I think the only weak link is the two spinners of Sundar and Chahal. If you go in with those two spinners and not Axar Patel, it's just that they don't have that extra height to get the extra bounce, and England might be able to counteract that with a sweep shot. That's probably the only weak link, and that's the matchups that I'm looking forward to seeing, to see how those two particular bowlers are able to negotiate the sweep shots of England. Other than that, I don't think they have too many weak links, and obviously you haven't got Boomer in there. Have I got another question there, please, Shubs? I've got Shubs in the background just doing a little bit of producing, and he's doing a good job. Thanks, Shubs. Arnav Sundigala, how are you, Arnav? How are you doing? I'm doing great, mate. I'm absolutely loving it and looking forward to the T20 match tonight. Who do you think will keep Pant or Rahul? For me, I'd go Pant now. He's gained confidence through the Test series. It's been difficult conditions for keepers on this tough Ahmedabad wicket. He's gained the confidence with the gloves. Keep him there, and I just love the energy that he provides with all the players. He is the barometer of where India are at in the field. If he's not up chirpy, he's not energetic behind the stumps, you tend to see the rest of the Indian fielding team just drop their standards a little bit. And that's the same with any team. When Australia were dominant and were on top of opposition teams, it was the energy that was coming from the keeper, not so much from the field. The way that he moves behind the stumps, nice and clean, just sets up the momentum for everyone else and the enthusiasm for everyone else. So Pant's got to keep. Next question, please, Shaf. Gee, we've got a lot of questions today. Vinay Dadich, how are you, Vinay? What kind of approach do you see from Team India or top order batsmen? I think Rohit Sharma and Rahul are going to be quite aggressive out the top, but when I say aggressive, they're going to use a lot of timing, and once they get the feel of the wicket, then they'll start trying to hit over the top. But early on, the first 2 overs, they've got the timing, they've got the skill to pierce the gaps and find those 4 boundaries, and then as they got the pace of the wicket, then they can try and hit the 6s. And then Kohli will come in if they lose an early wicket, try and just set up a foundation, and then you'll have the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, as well as Pant and Hardik Pandya, just to finish off the innings in the final 10 overs with a high strike rate. So for me, aggressive in the power play, a little bit conservative for the next couple of overs, and then refocus and take the game away in the final 10 overs. That's the approach that I'll see India taking. Next question, please. Oh, Mr. Cute, how are you, mate? Do India have ability to win the T20 World Cup, Asia Cup, World Test Championship finals? They absolutely have the ability to win all 3. The reason being, what I saw in Australia this year when they're depleted, they've got the depth of young players coming up to meet the standards that are expected of them in an Indian squad to deliver the goods. And when under pressure, all players have stood up. So for me, I think they can take out all 3 events this year because they've got the depth, they've got the ability. What else? They've got the variety in their playing group to match different scenarios that are going to or different conditions that are going to be presented to them around the world in all these competitions. So I totally think India are the dominant team in world cricket at the moment. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Brad_Hogg. And we're going to watch the game tonight, see how it goes. And then tomorrow, I'll give my review and a preview of what's expected for the next game as well. Good luck to both teams. Hopefully we have a close contest and we're all on the edge of our seats for the whole 40 overs of tonight. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a great day.